Muzan was shocked to discover his arm had been severed. When he realized it was Tanjiro, he couldn't help but mock. What an ugly stance you're striking. This time it's truly impossible to tell who the real demon is. On Tanjiro, Muzan saw the shadow of the Imperial Nuyant. This was no illusion of Muzan. After Tanjiro fell unconscious, his soul unexpectedly traveled to ancient times. Nuyant was an extremely gentle man. The Thin Lady only pleaded a few times, saying she wanted to witness his profound swordsmanship. Nuyant immediately demonstrated. Tanjiro watched closely from the side and memorized every detail in his heart. The feats of sun breathing were absolutely magnificent. Moreover, Nuyant didn't seem like an ordinary human. Thus, Tanjiro's family took the name Fire God Kagura, passed down through generations. After watching sun breathing, the Thin Lady laughed joyfully. Nuyant shyly lowered his head. At the moment of parting, Nuyant gave his earrings to Tanjiro. Tanjiro looked at the earrings in his hand, realizing Nuyant might never return. So he loudly told Nuyant, "I swear to you, I will definitely pass down your journal, your breathing and earrings forever." Tanjiro knew the other couldn't hear him, but he still couldn't help saying, "Your life up to now was absolutely not worthless. Please don't blame yourself like that." Hearing these words, Nuyant showed little reaction. He only smiled and said thank you. Tanjiro felt he was the one who should be thankful. Without your trust back then, Lady Ju would not have survived to modern times. Thanks to your support, we could drive Muzan into this desperate state. Because you demonstrated sun breathing, I could fight Muzan. The sun breathing that Nuyant showed then consisted of 12 forms, matching Muzan's 5 brains and 7 hearts, recalling his frail father, who could dance the fire god Kagura until sunrise. He must have danced all 12 forms in rotation, creating a complete cycle, thus giving rise to the 13th form. My task is to dodge attacks, while continuously unleashing forms from Nuyan Viet to Dian Viet. Dawn is approaching. Muzan has few paths left. What follows will surely be a brutal battle. I don't know if my body now can hold out until dawn. If Muzan escapes again, can I stop him? Even Nuyan couldn't do it. Can I really do it? Tanjiro's hesitation lasted only a second. Then he steeled his resolve. He wanted to burn his heart like his elder brother and fulfill his mission. Muzan officially launched his attack. Tanjiro seized the moment, swiftly dashing before Muzan, unleashing Fire God Nuyan Viet. At this moment, Tanjiro's form seemed as if Nuyan had possessed him. Muzan angrily cursed the damned ghost, then used the technique he once used against the 9 Hashira. This move was not as simple as it appeared. The reason the 9 Hashira's army was annihilated was because of the whips on Muzan's legs. Their speed far surpassed the whips on his back. Moreover, before striking, the whips were completely concealed. As expected, Tanjiro was hit, but he didn't give up fighting. Instead, he continued his assault. Tanjiro unleashed Nuyan via Blazing Sun Red Mirror, followed by Fire Wheel. Muzan clearly saw Tanjiro had grown stronger. Those who stepped through the Demon Gate all become more resilient. Tanjiro needed no outside help to turn his blade red. The remaining Hashira also used their own methods to redden their blades. Even so, with your strength, you're still far from that man. Tanjiro continued his attack, unleashing Sun Dragon Head Fire Wheel. A massive fire dragon appeared on the battlefield. Due to relentless attacks, Tanjiro's lungs ached unbearably, causing his moves to lose precision. Muzan seized the chance to counterattack. He unleashed all the spiked whips on his body, vowing to kill Tanjiro. Just as Tanjiro fell into mortal danger, he miraculously dodged the attack. Muzan was stunned. What was this situation? He had used all his strength, yet couldn't kill a gravely wounded human. Muzan suddenly realized something. It wasn't his fault. It was because he had slowed down. If not for that in a Wanion, it wouldn't take this long, nor would he fail twice in a row. The reason must lie with that woman. He had to force her to reveal the truth. So within his body, Muzan found Jush's cells. What did you do? Wasn't the drug you gave me to turn me human? Jushai sneered, I won't tell. Unless you call me mother. Then I'll tell you, you wretched turtle. Muzan furiously crushed Jushi's cells, directly seizing the memories within them. In the memories, he saw Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu Kocho proposed making a compound drug. If the human-turning drug failed, a second drug would activate. A drug that rapidly aged Muzan. If it was a drug made by Lady Jushai, 1 minute could age Muzan 50 years. This time Muzan was shocked. So his body had been aging all along. My strength weakened because I had to resist aging. That's why I couldn't easily kill this low-level demon slayer. Muzan began calculating the time Jushai used the drug, subtracting the time the first drug took effect, roughly over 3 hours. Meaning it aged at least 9,000 years. At this moment, Tom Na relayed a message. 59 minutes until dawn. Muzan, hearing this, was slightly shocked. Before he could react, Tanjiro rushed before him. Sun breathing, flickering flame fire wheel blue hellfire sky, blazing sun red and face. Muzan roared in rage, you filthy trash. Die already. Then he launched an attack. Sadly, it only hit an afterimage. Tanjiro continued his assault. New Yan via evil sun turning body. Muddy bone flame sun dragon head dance sunflower thrust. Tanjiro sighed. Finally, it linked all 12 forms. Next is to repeatedly unleash them until the sun rises. At this moment, on the other side of the battlefield, a tabby cat cut into pieces lay on the ground. Though gravely wounded, it wasn't dead. Someone picked up its head and gathered its body. A nearby team member was shocked. Is this cat a demon too? It's not dead. Truly miraculous. Yushai Rak, annoyed, said, why are you all standing around talking nonsense? Hurry and bandage the wounded. After Yushai Rak's reminder, the team members quickly grabbed serum to detoxify the 3 young ones. Yushai Rak went to Gyo Mei Jaime Jima. After stopping the bleeding, he found Gyo Mei Jaime Jima in terrible condition. Even if he regained consciousness, he could hardly fight on. But dawn was still over 50 minutes away. Now only Tanjiro remained. He couldn't possibly hold out. Muzan, Lady Jushai, please protect Tanjiro. Please find a way to keep him safe. On this side of the battlefield, Tanjiro and Muzan were fiercely clashing. Muzan's spiked whip attacks had a wide range and terrifying power. Tanjiro couldn't get close, so he tried to enter the transparent world again, but found his vision blurry. Due to lack of oxygen, Tanjiro quickly lost his sight. Muzan seized the chance to attack, but was blocked by Obanai Aiguro's technique. Muzan was somewhat surprised. He didn't expect Obanai Aiguro to still be alive. Tanjiro, with oxygen restored, could see again. He wanted to express his gratitude, but saw Obanai Aiguro's deep wound. Lord Obanai, were you injured saving me? My eyes were blind just now. Stop always thinking of others. Live for yourself first. While the two talked, Muzan had moved behind them. Obanai Aiguro saw this and quickly pushed Tanjiro away. But Muzan ignored Tanjiro and charged straight at Obanai Aiguro. Muzan suddenly exerted force. With a loud explosion, the building instantly shattered. Obanai Aiguro narrowly avoided being hit. Tanjiro was deeply worried for Obanai Aiguro's safety. He swung his blade and charged at Muzan. Muzan ignored Tanjiro and kept attacking Obanai Aiguro. The Emperor quickly reported the situation to Obanai Aiguro. Obanai Aiguro, relying on the Emperor's information, blocked Muzan's attack again. Muzan couldn't believe his eyes. He didn't expect his attack to be seen through by a small snake. At this moment, Tanjiro and Obanai Aiguro both charged at Muzan. The Onsemite Demon King now found himself on the defensive. Muzan wondered if it was the aging drug's effect, or the human-turning drug not fully broken down. Why? Could he not kill even a wounded human? After dodging a spiked whip, Tanjiro also noticed something off about Muzan. The scent on his body kept changing. Now was the perfect chance to break the stalemate. At that moment, Countless dense scars suddenly appeared on Muzan. Tanjiro was stunned, then realized these scars were from old wounds long ago. Even after centuries, Muzan couldn't heal them. The scarred areas were Muzan's weaknesses. Seeing the scars all over him, Muzan couldn't help but recall the Imperial Nuyant. At their first meeting, Nuyant seemed frail, unable to withstand a breeze, without a trace of dominance. But who could have guessed I'd be beheaded by such a man, even forced to self-destruct to escape? The scars left by his blade, over countless long years, kept burning my body. This was utterly unnatural. The real monster wasn't me, but that solitary man Nuyant. At this moment, Tanjiro noticed the scars on Muzan growing clearer. Looking at them, Tanjiro deduced they must mark the locations of Muzan's brains and hearts, meaning even without the transparent world, he could attack Muzan's weaknesses. At this moment, Tong Na relayed a message. 40 minutes until dawn. Without a word, Muzan vanished from the spot. This action stunned Tanjiro. Watching Muzan's figure fade into the distance, Tanjiro snapped back to reality, quickly stood and gave chase. While reporting this to Obanai Iguro, Obanai Iguro was momentarily stunned, then immediately understood. Muzan wasn't arrogant, nor swayed by emotions, but a creature obsessed with survival. As dawn approached, with his life threatened, he wouldn't hesitate to flee. Tanjiro noticed Muzan running faster and faster. He couldn't keep up. Damn, it's so damn frustrating. Are we going to lose? If he really escapes, wouldn't everyone's sacrifices be in vain? While fleeing, Muzan trampled over the bodies of team members. His spiked whips even caused secondary damage to the corpses. Tanjiro, enraged beyond control, picked up blades from the ground and threw them forward. Muzan quickly swung his whips, shattering all the Sunwheel blades, because his body now was near its limit. Compared to being cut, he feared being pierced more. At that moment, Obanai Iguro descended from above, stabbing a blade through Muzan's throat. Muzan gritted his teeth, glaring at Obanai Iguro's black blade, then swung his whips to attack Obanai Iguro. At the critical moment, Tanjiro swung his flaming blade, slicing through Muzan's whips. Lord Obanai, please take this. It can share vision with the Emperor. Before Tanjiro's Fukuchi reached its target, Muzan launched an attack. This was Muzan's fall force strike. He unleashed all his spiked whips, so both Obanai Iguro and Tanjiro, as expected, sustained new wounds. Seeing this situation, Tanjiro made a desperate gamble. He let go of the Fukuchi, using his body to draw Muzan's attention, while reporting the Fukukai's position to Obanai Iguro. Though Obanai Iguro was close to the Fukuchi, it was too small. He couldn't tell where it was. At this moment, Tanjiro shouted, "Emperor, it's up to you." The Emperor didn't disappoint, successfully catching the Fukuchi. Muzan, intending to escape, was held in place by Tanjiro's blade. Obanai Iguro, with the Emperor's vision, fought with greater precision. He then said to Tanjiro, "As long as we form a pincer attack, we'll ensure he doesn't escape." Tanjiro resolved, "Even if I die, I'll defeat Muzan first." Muzan had lost the will to fight. He could clearly feel the Hashira were gradually regaining strength. At this moment, Tong Na relayed a message. 35 minutes until dawn. Without a word, Muzan tried to self-destruct to escape. Muzan wanted to escape through self-destruction, but was shocked to find he couldn't. "Damn it, you wretch. Why can't I self-destruct?" It turned out Jushai, that cunning fox, had injected him with 3 drugs. Jushai, displeased, said, "First, I'm not a cunning fox. Second, it's for drugs. When the first 3 drugs weaken you to a certain degree, the cell-destroying drug takes effect." Muzan realized, normally this would mean nothing. After all, no matter how powerful the Black Blade, it couldn't compare to that man's strike. But the drug Jushai meticulously prepared made those otherwise meaningless cuts into highly effective blows. Muzan never dreamed that in such a short time Jushai could create such a terrifying drug. Moreover, these for drugs were completely different from those used on Hanmi. Even he was encountering them for the first time, making their breakdown especially time-consuming. At this moment, Muzan suddenly stopped moving. Tanjiro, seeing Muzan motionless, guessed, "It must be Lady Jushi's drug taking effect. This time we can definitely hold out until dawn." But before Tanjiro could rejoice, Muzan unleashed a powerful shock. The shockwave's force was staggering, instantly knocking out the two in the arena. Even Lady Jushi, far away, was affected by the aftershock. At this moment, 25 minutes until dawn, after unleashing his massive attack, Muzan didn't continue fighting, but fled into the distance. At that moment, a figure blocked Muzan's path. It was Inosuke, covered in wounds. Muzan immediately tried to counter with a shockwave, but found he couldn't. One Inosuke angrily said, "To protect us, Lord Gilmi's leg and Lord Jutami Oka's arm were broken. They're still lying on the ground. Those comrades who were drinking and laughing with me not long ago are now dead. Give them back to me. If you can't, then die a million times for me." As Inosuke finished speaking, Muzan launched an attack. Inosuke immediately swung to defensive slashes. Then Muzan struck the ground. The moment Inosuke landed, Muzan's arm suddenly burst from the earth, biting tightly onto Inosuke. Inosuke was caught by Muzan's tentacles. The tentacles' slight pressure caused him excruciating pain. At the critical moment, a golden slash appeared from the air. It was Zenitsu. Zenitsu shouted Hashir a hold on. "Dawn is near. Let's end this together." With that, he attacked Muzan. Thunder-breathing 7th form Fire Thunder God, a massive lightning dragon, swept through Muzan's body in an instant. Muzan immediately spat blood like an arrow. Zenitsu lamented the wound was too shallow. Without the Black Blade's support, he couldn't inflict serious damage. Zenitsu collapsed after his big move. Muzan seized the chance to attack. Luckily, Inosuke had recovered some strength. He blocked Muzan's attack. Muzan grew impatient. Facing Inosuke's relentless pursuit, he unhesitatingly unleashed a shockwave. Inosuke, being closest, took the heaviest blow. Zenitsu wanted to help, but with his strength nearly depleted, he couldn't unleash any techniques. Fortunately, Tanjiro arrived in time. He swung his flaming blade, slicing off Muzan's arm. Tanjiro returned to the battlefield like a war god. Facing Muzan, he unleashed a flurry of attacks. Though unable to deal real damage, he successfully restrained Muzan. Tanjiro knew, in Muzan's current state, he couldn't keep using shockwaves. "As long as I keep attacking, it'll completely destroy him at dawn." Tanjiro's plan was sound, but reality was harsh. Soon, having reached his limit, his body uncontrollably coughed blood. Seeing Muzan about to take his life, a jagged blade blocked Muzan's path. Inosuke's timely arrival saved Tanjiro. After resting, Tanjiro immediately unleashed Mist Blue Hellfire Sky Red Sun. Zenitsu anxiously watched the battlefield. He wanted to contribute, but with a broken leg, and having used Fire Thunder God twice in one day, his body was at its limit. "Thanks to my grandfather, kick me hard in the back." Zenitsu successfully unleashed Lightning Flash. At the same time, Tanjiro and Inosuke charged at Muzan. Though both unleashed techniques, Inosuke was still knocked away by Muzan. Now only Tanjiro remained. After unleashing Evil Sun Turning Body, Tanjiro tried to follow with Sun Dragon Head Dance, but his legs suddenly gave out. He collapsed to the ground. No surprise there. Muzan was at his limit. How could Tanjiro have strength left? Zenitsu unleashed Godspeed Lightning Flash, but Godspeed now couldn't pierce Muzan's body. Zenitsu used his body to block Muzan's whips, saving Tanjiro's life. In return, Tanjiro swung Dragon Head Dance, followed by Blazing Sun Red Mirror, cornering Muzan. Finally, using Sunflower Thrust to pin Muzan, Tanjiro had no choice left. He had no strength to unleash techniques. Now he could only hold on. All of Muzan's whips surged toward Tanjiro. Shinobu Kocho suddenly grabbed Muzan's whips. Tears streaming, she said, "Enough, you vile monster," then tore off Muzan's arm. Muzan seemed startled, but it didn't stop his resolve to flee. He used his remaining whips to attack Tanjiro again. At the critical moment, Mitsurikan Roji swung her steel wand, slicing off Muzan's other arm. At that moment, a crack suddenly appeared on Muzan's face. Then it opened into a grotesque, fanged mouth, biting toward Tanjiro. At the critical moment, Obonai Iguro rushed forward, using his body to shield Tanjiro. But he was bitten on the head by Muzan. The Wind Hashira shouted, "Keep holding on. Dawn is near." Muzan turned his head, just in time to see the radiant sunrise. Under the pressure of death, Muzan unleashed a powerful shockwave. The shockwave's force was staggering. In an instant, it threw the Wind Hashira and Snake Hashira back. Though Tanjiro kept resisting, his arm was broken by the blast. Even so, he still gripped his blade tightly. To make the blade red again, Tanjiro recalled his elder brother's words. "Burn your heart. Fulfill your mission." At that moment, a large hand grasped the blade's hilt. It was Jutami Oka. With only his left arm, he and Tanjiro exerted force together, making the blade turn red. Muzan spat a mouthful of old blood. At the same time, as the sun rose higher, white smoke began rising from Muzan's face. To survive, Muzan's body rapidly swelled, forming a giant infant-like armor. Jutami Oka thought this size was too massive. Then he was knocked away by Tanjiro. It turned out the infant's chest was rapidly writhing. Tanjiro quickly vanished before Jutami Oka. Muzan, now a giant infant, let out an angry roar, as if venting his frustration. Then he began crawling. Huilizi AI shouted, "Quickly stop him. Don't let him escape to the shadows." This is our move. The team members hiding on the second floor pushed bookshelves down, precisely hitting the crawling Muzan. But this didn't stop Muzan's advance. At that moment, 3 cars smashed into the giant infant's head. Muzan, in a rage, smashed one car, then continued crawling toward the shadows. At the same time, the logistics team pushed a bus, blocking Muzan's path. The team members shouted, "No matter what happens, don't retreat. Jushai has no strength left to fight. Leave the rest to us." Seeing Muzan's fist about to fall, S.A. Enemy Shai Nazuga Washington arrived in time, slicing off the infant's falling fist. Though the infant lost an arm, it climbed onto the bus, about to escape. A chain wrapped tightly around the infant's neck. It was Gyo Mei Haimijima with a broken leg. He and the team members behind him exerted force, successfully pulling the infant to the ground. Muzan began roaring loudly. His skin developed festering sores. Huilizi AI shouted, "Turn to ash already." The infant roared for a while, then flipped over. It crawled a few steps and began digging into the earth. After Gyo Mei Haimijima realized Muzan's intent, he immediately urged everyone to keep attacking. To drain Muzan's strength, Jutami Oka unleashed water-breathing 10th form, Constant Flux. S.A. Enemy Shai Nazuga Washington struggled to stand, unleashing wind-breathing 5th form, Cold Autumn Mountain Wind. Obonai Iguro also launched his final strike, Insect-breathing 4th form, Centipede Double Slash. Even so, Muzan broke the chain. His will to survive was too strong. Soon half his head was buried in the earth. At this moment, Tanjiro, gripping the black blade, exerted force. The infant's face immediately gushed blood. As the sunlight grew brighter, the infant let out a pained scream. With Muzan's final roar, the infant's body turned to ash. The 1,000-year war between humans and demons finally came to an end. Under the Demon Slayer Corps' witness, Muzan completely turned to ash. Seeing this, everyone was overjoyed, embracing and weeping bitterly. We finally defeated the demon. Muzan finally met this day. The young lord, learning the outcome, after urging everyone to treat the wounded, fainted. The Demon Slayer Corps began bustling. They started treating the injured. Gyo Mei Haimijima stopped the team members from treating him. "Don't use the medicine. I can't be saved. Use it for the young ones." The team members wanted to say something. Gyomei Jaime Jima said, "Promise me. This is my final request." A small hand rested on Gyomei's large one. In his dying moments, Gyomei Jaime Jima saw his old students. The students sincerely said all these years, "We've always wanted to apologize for that day. We hurt you, didn't we? We didn't mean to run away. We knew your eyes couldn't see, so we went to get farm tools as weapons." The girl also said she wanted to find other adults to help. Gyomei Jaime Jima finally understood. So that's how it was. "I'm sorry, teacher. We shouldn't have driven Kwa out of the temple. There was a reason we chased him out. We weren't lying to you. If we could go back to those days and greet tomorrow, how wonderful that would be. We could explain everything. We're truly sorry. It's all our fault. We hope you can forgive us." Tears streamed from Gyomei Jaime Jima's eyes. "I failed to protect you all. I'm the one who should apologize." The children rushed to Gyomei Jaime Jima. "Teacher, don't apologize. We love you the most. So we've always waited for you." Gyomei Jaime Jima felt the children's love, gently saying, "Let's go together." In reality, Gyomei Jaime Jima had closed his eyes. His expression showed no regrets. On this side, Mitsuriken Roji, covered in blood, finally. She weakly asked Lord Obanai, "Did we win?" Obanai Iguro told Mitsuriken Roji, "We won. Muzan is dead." Mitsuriken Roji closed her eyes, satisfied, feeling her body no longer hurt. "My time is probably running out." Obanai Iguro gently comforted, "Don't be afraid. I won't let you go alone." Mitsuriken Roji couldn't hold back tears. "But I don't want Lord Obanai to die. I really didn't help much." "That's not true. Don't blame yourself like that. Do you remember the day we first met?" Mitsuriken Roji smiled. "I do. I got lost in the Lord's mansion. You helped me, Lord Obanai." Obanai Iguro said, "It's the other way around. Meeting you that day saved me. You panic over little things. Smile innocently when praised. Despite enduring countless hardships to become a Hashira, you remain so optimistic. Being with you was so joyful, as if I became an ordinary young man again." Surely the other Hashira felt the same. Your optimism and boundless kindness silently healed countless wounded hearts. As long as I'm here, no one can speak ill of you. Hearing this, Mitsuriken Roji suddenly burst into tears. "I really like you, Lord Obanai. The meals we shared were the best, because you, Lord Obanai, always looked at me with the gentlest eyes. So Lord Obanai, please, in the next life, will you marry me?" Obanai Iguro, heartbroken, said, "Of course. As long as you don't mind me. In the next life, I'll protect you and give you a happy, fulfilling life." This tragic couple finally confessed their feelings before death. At this moment, S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington had gone ahead to another world, where his siblings and Genya were. S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington asked his mother why she wouldn't join the family. It turned out, having become a demon and hurt her family, she couldn't let go. Seeing his mother unwilling to come, S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington didn't force her. He said he'd stay with her, so she wouldn't feel too lonely. Just as S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington was about to carry his mother away, a large hand suddenly grabbed his. It was S.A. Animishai Nazuga's father. "Let go! You're going with me now." The father pushed S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington away. "You're my son. Your bones are still strong. Live well." In reality, S.A. Animishai Nazuga Washington slowly opened his eyes. Though wrapped in bandages, he had truly survived. At this moment, a team member suddenly shouted, "It hurts. I got bitten by that wild boar. This guy's full of energy." Inosuke, after biting someone, started coughing blood repeatedly, but finally woke up. Zenitsu never fainted. Now he was in talkative mode. "If I die, tell my beloved wife Enizuko. In this life I only loved her. By the way, tell her about my glorious deeds." Jutami Oka, missing an arm, was searching for Tanjiro. Suddenly the sight before him shocked him. It was Tanjiro covered in blood, still gripping his blade's hilt. At this moment, Tanjiro had no heartbeat, no breath, clearly showing no signs of life. Jutami Oka couldn't accept the truth, stood frozen, unsure what to do. In his mind, he saw Tanjiro's radiant, optimistic image. Facing Tanjiro's death, Jutami Oka fell into deep self-blame. In the end, I couldn't protect anything. Before Jutami Oka finished, Enizuka's voice rang out from behind. Next episode, Demon King Tanjiro tastes everyone.